This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, so yeah, we'll start with the class. Okay, so you can all hear me, right? I guess you can hear me. My mic is a bit clear, I guess. You can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fantastic. All right. So yesterday we were discussing few of the things or a few of the options which were in Tally Prime. Okay, especially these options that is from Gateway of Tally. We go to this option called as Create, and we were working on with these things. That is units of measure. Next, we went on with the go downs, stock category, stock group, and stock items, where we fix the tax rates and things. Okay, so yeah, let's continue with the stock item part. Okay, I guess we did only few things. Okay, so left one. Okay, fine. Okay, so only LGTV we have prepared. We have not done any other stock items, so we'll proceed with that. Okay, so the other stock item what we were doing, okay, that is yeah. So yeah, as you see LGTV we have done. Okay, now next we go on with the stationery item, that is a classmate note. Okay, so yeah, so create, so stock item, now classmate book. This will be under, so here under means to say your stock group which we have already created, that is your books. The category will be your stationery. Okay, so these books we can consider them as numbers. Also, we can also put it as set. Okay, set of 12 numbers, set of 50 numbers, something like this for books we can put it. Okay, so yeah, but what I'll do is normally I'll just put it as numbers itself, NOS. Okay, next GST applicable. Yes, it is applicable. Set all the GST details. Yes, right. These were the things we were doing. Okay, we did. So the name first, what we do is we enter the stock item name, that's the classmate notebook. Under is the stock group, that is books. Category is stationery. Units will be as numbers, NOS. You can also put it as sets, whatever is applicable for that. Next, GST, yes, it is applicable. If it is not applicable, we can select as not applicable and things. Since it is applicable, yes, we put it as applicable. Set alter GST details. I make this option as yes, and I have to press the enter key. When I press the enter key, I get the next screen like this. Okay, so this is the screen that you have to get. Sometimes you will only get the screen like this, like this. That is only integrated tax. There's only calculation type, taxability, cess. Only these things you have. Okay, we are dealing with all three types. That is CGST, SGST, and IGST. But here it is showing only just integrated, that is IGST tax. And also there's no HSN number, which we found out in the last class, in the last session. That is this HSN number. To enter that HSN number also, I don't have the option. Okay, so what we have to do is, we have to press F12. F12, allow HSN SSC details. This option you have to make it as yes. And the last option, show all GST tax types. This option also have to make it as yes. So these two options, HSN number and show all GST tax types, all different types of taxes, Cgst, SGST, IGST. Make it as yes. Then I get the whole thing like this. So this is how you get the spots. Now, description, since classmate books, so it is a goods. So basically we can consider them as goods and services, or let's say you can just put it as the name as books. Anything is fine. Okay, so just what I'll do here is I'll put here as goods. The HSN number which we found out yesterday, that is 41901. 41901. Calculation type, we calculate on value. Taxability, yes, it is taxable. And the tax rate that we got was 5%. 5% of it here, enter. So 2.5, 2.5. So this is how you enter the tax rate and the HSN number and the details. Okay. Next, I save this. Next, again, you'll come back to the previous screen. So type of supply, yes, it is goods. Okay, rate of duty tax, nothing to be entered. And here directly I save it. That's all you do. Okay, so classmate notebook is done now. Next, Acer Laptops. Acer Laptops will come under laptops. Category computers. Here you can put it as numbers. GST applicable. It is applicable. Set alter GST details. Yes. Right. Now, after I make this option as yes, I press enter key. So I can put it as goods. The HSN number for this 8471. That's what I have written here. The pink color highlighted one. Calculation type on value. Taxability, it is taxable. Okay, and the tax rate for this particular item is same 18% itself. Okay, so I save it. Above supply goods, and I save it. Right? So this is how you create each and every stock item and also apply the tax rate for these particular stock items. Any doubts in this?
No, sir.
Oh, right. So let's proceed. So now we already have created three stock items over there. Okay, yesterday one item we created and today we did two items. So we have to check it. Okay, so what we do is we come back to gateway of tally, chart of accounts. Okay, then we go to the stock items, and there you have. See, these are all the group names, stock group names. But we're dealing with the stock items thing. But I want to see only the stock items present. It is visible here itself. Classmate books, Acer laptops, LG TV, everything is visible here itself. But I want to see only these three items itself, only those three. Okay. So on your right hand side, you have this multi masters, that is Alt H. Press Alt H. Okay. Now, what you do is just select multi alter. Okay. Next, on the next screen, you have to select all items. See, you get only those stock items present. Acer laptops, classmate books, and LG TV. Okay. This is how you create your stock items. So you see the name of the items present, the group which under it, which is present, and the number is present. And we say the quantity unit of measure is present over here. Okay, so this is how you create it. Now, the next place that we have to check for how much of stock we have in our company. We created 3 of the stock items now, but I have to see if it is present in my company. So what we do is from gateway of tally, you go to stock summary. Gateway of tally, stock summary. Okay, there's nothing present on the screen. Okay, so what we have done is we have only created those items. We have not purchased those items, or not we have not even put the opening balances for that particular item. So in our company we don't have any stocks at all. So that is why it is showing as an empty screen here. Okay, so let's say if we go back again. Okay, let's say I go to this alter screen from gateway of tally, stock item. I'm sorry, chart of accounts, stock item, alt H, multi alter. Okay, so even here, if you see, okay, you have name of the item is a laptop under unit of measure, but next to that, if you see the opening quantity, there is no opening quantity in my company right now. Opening quantity, the rate for it, the amount for it is not mentioned here. That means we have not entered the opening quantity of the product. Okay, that is we don't have any stock in our company. Okay, now just like in the last class, okay, how we introduced the capital for the business. Okay, the capital what we brought in, that 50 lakhs thing. Okay, same way I come to chart of accounts, ledgers, alt H, multi alter all items. Okay, so here we have our all our ledgers here, and also the capital also we have introduced to the business. In our business we brought this capital here. Okay, so same way in our company's go downs as well. Okay, we had created go downs in the last class. Okay, in those go downs also I want to store some stocks, store some particular product. Okay, that basically means to say that I'm starting a business, I have capital with me, and same way along with me I have some stock with me. Okay, basically we call it as an opening stock of thing. Okay, that opening stock I have to create here. How we do it is, let's take one example from here itself. Okay, okay, let's take for Dell computers. Okay, Dell computers also it's the same HSN number will take it, or and the GST number will take it, a GST amount rate. Okay, so for Dell computers we'll do, or else what we'll do is I have here. Okay, unit of the computer here only I have one. See, Camlin notebook. Okay, let's say classmate notebook we have purchased. Now we have Camlin notebook here. Now this particular Camlin notebook, I have to purchase it. Okay, that I'm giving as an opening balance. Okay, so this Camlin notebook here, what happens means to say that I have 80 numbers and it costs what rupees 20 each. Okay, so this is my opening stock, and this opening stock I am putting it in my Jnagar go down. Okay, Camlin notebook, 80 numbers, each cost rupees 20 each, and this is present in Jnagar go down. Okay, now this I have to create as an opening balance, opening stock for my company. Now what I do is same. I come to this gateway of tally. I go to create, go to stock item, and share. Okay, so I am creating here as Camlin notebook. Okay, same procedure. Just like how we were creating the stock item, the same way I'm going to do here. Under will be as books, category is stationery. Let's put it as numbers itself. GST is applicable. Set all the GST rate yes. So whatever I was doing the same previously, the same way I do it here. Okay. Description, let's say this time I put it as books. Just you can put any name here. I'm just putting books. You can also put as goods. Anything is fine. HSN number for this. Okay, the same HSN number what we put for classmate notebook 41901. Okay, 41901, 5%. On value, taxable 5%. Okay, the same procedure what we did, I'm just following it here. No changes in this. Okay, now what I do is save this. Now, after I come back to the previous screen type of supply, which is goods. Okay, I save the goods. There's no rate of duty. I come to the opening balance. Okay, so here I had put the opening balance for Camel notebook was 80 numbers at rupees 20 each, storing in a Jnagar godown. So quantity, what I do is I just enter 80 and I press the enter key. Okay, see what I did? I just pressed the I entered 80 numbers under the quantity and I'll press the enter key. Okay, so when I press the enter key, I get a screen like this. This screen is nothing but a screen which is used to select the go down. Okay, select the go down, enter the rate of it and what is the total of it. Now the first thing is go down. So the go down name I am storing it in Jnagar go down. So if you see on the right hand side, yesterday we created these go downs. So I have all the go downs present over here. So it is my Jnagar go down that I have to select. 80 numbers was already entered at the rate 20 each. So just put 20. So 80 into 20, 1600. Alright. Okay. This is how you create the opening balance. So what we do here is, okay, once we finish with this goods on the top type of supply thing, we come to the quantity, enter the quantity, and you press the enter key, you get the go down to select the go down. After you select the go down, again you get the quantity thing. Next you have to enter the rate, how much per each item. Next, the total amount it will automatically calculate. And you have to press the enter key. It will save. Does anyone have any doubts in this? Okay, fine. All right, so let's proceed. And I save it. Okay, so now previously how we check the stock summary, that is from the gateway of tally screen. Okay, we come to the stock summary, that is down, enter. Okay, so you can see there it says now books and it shows a total amount of it 1600. Okay, now you want to see what is that book, which particular book. Okay, we have classmate notebook and Camlin notebook, but I want to see for which book we have the opening balance. So what you do is after you come to the stock summary screen, press Alt F1. Okay, so you press Alt F1, it shows here. Again you press Alt F1, it will. Okay, so Alt F1 is used to show the reports in detailed or condensed manner. Either you press Alt F1 or you can press Alt F5. Alt F1 you can press or Alt F5 you can do. Any of the shortcut key you can use, Alt F1 or Alt F5. Okay, now, so it says books. In that we have Camlin notebook, 80 numbers at rupees 20 is 1600. Now I want to see which is that go down it is present. In which go down it is present, I want to see it. What you do is just press F5. That's it. F5, see, camera notebook, chain will go down 18. Okay. Again, I repeat, from gateway of tally, you go to stock summary. And once you come here, either you press Alt F1 or Alt F5. Alt F1 or Alt F5 is used to show the reports in detailed or condensed manner. Now, when I get it in detail, now I get the stock item name and the quantity and the amount. Now I want to see in which go round it is present. Press F5. So there you have it. Camera notebook, general go down, 80 numbers at rupees 20 each. So this is my opening stock which I have in my company. Any doubts in this? Any doubts in this creation of the stocks? Okay. So no, sir. Okay, fine. So fine. All right. So let's proceed. So I have created all my stock items. I mean, few of these stock items. Okay. So using these stock items, we will do the purchase transaction or sales transaction or the other different types of transactions. Now, before we proceed with the transaction part, now can you tell me what are the ledgers that can be created? Okay, now let's say for example I have to do the GST transaction, normal tax GST transaction. Can anyone tell me what ledgers have to be created for this GST transactions? Anyone? Hmm? Do you know the answer? Yes, no. Can anyone tell me? Just reply something. Okay. Yes, no. Hmm? What kind of ledgers can be created for this? You know it, you don't know it. Anything is fine. Just answer something. Okay. Okay. Fine. All right. Now, so the ledgers that can be created here. Okay. Now, so I go to create. I go to ledger. Okay. So when we are dealing with GST, okay, we have certain ledgers that has to be created. Okay, before we pass the transaction. Now, can anyone tell me what are these three types of GSTs or three? How is this GST split up? What was that GST? How it is split up into? Hmm, which we had already discussed earlier. Uh, what are the GS3 types of different types of GSTs that we have, or GST tax types that we have?
Yes, GST, CGST, IGST.
That's right. SGST, CGST, and IGST. Now, all these three types of GSTs have to be created here. Now, let's take the first one, SGST. Okay, SGST alias will be nothing under. Now, you tell me what is the group that I have to select for this SGST?
Primary.
Primary, no. See on the right hand side you have the list of groups, right? So see what is the group that you have to select.
Duties and taxes.
Fantastic. Duties and taxes. Okay, so when I select duties and taxes, see on the left hand side. Now type of duty tax. So what type of duty tax is this?
GST.
Yes, GST. Next, tax type. What can be selected for this?
State. State.
State tax. Okay, why state tax? Because it is SGST, state goods and service tax. So we have to select here as state tax. Okay, so these are the four things that you enter. There's no need of percentage of tax calculation, nothing. There's no other thing that to be entered. Okay, there's only these four things that has to be entered or created in this. Okay, this is very important. Okay, whenever you're passing the transaction, automatically the tax has to be calculated. Okay, each and every one of these things has to be perfect. Okay, so the name is GST, under is duties and taxes, that is a group. Type of duty tax is a type of GST. Tax type is state tax. Why state tax? Because SGST, state goods and service tax. So that is why we have it as state tax. Okay, that's all. Only these are the four things that you have to create in this. And I save. Now we go on to the next one, Cgst. So it's the same thing. Duties and tax itself, it's the same one. Type of duty tax, same, GST. But here we select as central tax.
Central.
Yes, central, that's right. Central tax, and you save it. Next you have IGST, duties and taxes, GST, and integrated tax.
Integrated tax.
Fantastic. Okay, so these are the three ledgers for now or related to GST that we create here. Okay, any doubts in these ledgers creation? Okay, these ledgers that
No, sir.
okay, fine. Let's proceed. So now, once we are done with the ledger creation, let's say we start with the transaction part. Okay, that is, yeah, we have completed with the masters. Okay, in masters we have done with all these inventory masters, all the inventory masters we have done creating it. Now what we'll do is we will start proceeding with the transaction part. Okay, so we go to the transaction. Under the heading transaction, we go to the heading called as vouchers. Okay, so you already know that we have worked already in contra, payment receipt, and journal vouchers. Okay, now we'll work on with the other different types of vouchers now. Okay, now have you worked on these particular vouchers? Purchase, debit note, sales, credit note in Tally apply. As have you worked with these vouchers, girls?
Yes, sir.
All these purchase, debit, sales, credit note vouchers. Okay, fine. Now, why do we use purchase voucher? For what purpose is purchase voucher used for?
For purchase.
Okay, so when you did your purchase voucher transaction, okay, in which mode on what screen did you work on? That is, I'm asking is that is it on item invoice screen or accounting invoice or voucher mode? Okay, that means to say, okay, I'll just come back to that screen itself. Now, what's the shortcut key for purchase voucher?
FI. FI.
No, FI is payment voucher. For purchase, what is
F9. 9.
F9? That F9 is a shortcut key for purchase voucher. Okay, so when you come to the purchase voucher screen here, okay, have you is this a screen that you worked on? That is supply, invoice number, party account name, purchase account name of the item, quarter rate amount. What you see here, is this a screen that you had worked on in Tally API before?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So this particular screen, what you have here is called as item invoice. Okay. Now, I guess you would have worked on vouchers. That is, now let's say it's in this particular screen, right? Okay. Now, if you have to change the screen or the mode of this particular screen, if you see on your right hand side, same, we have this something called as change mode, which is Control H. Okay. So when I press Control H here, okay, so you have three modes here: item invoice, accounting invoice, and as voucher. So when I select item invoice, this is the screen that we have. The same thing what we just opened: supply invoice number, party account name, purchase, name of the item, quantity, rate, and amount. Okay, this is the item invoice screen. Again, I press Control H, say accounting invoice. I'll have this: particulars, rate, and amount, supply invoice number, party. Okay, this is the accounting invoice screen. Again, I press Control H, select as voucher, particulars, debit, and credit. So I guess you had worked on this particular screen. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this particular screen is called as voucher screen, or as voucher mode we call it as. Just as how you did your payment, contra, receipt vouchers, same way you had worked in your purchase, debit note, and everything in the same voucher mode itself. Okay. Now what we will be doing is, okay, to work on these GST transactions, and basically we are dealing with stocks. Okay, so we have to have a detailed transactions or detailed entries. So for that, what we'll do is we'll be working in the item invoice mode. That is same. Again, I press Control H and I select as item invoice. So this is the screen that we'll be working. Okay. Previously, you worked on voucher screen, that is your voucher mode, that is particulars, debit, and credit. Right now, what we'll be doing is we'll be working on the item invoice screen. That is when you come to this purchase voucher, you just have to press Control H and select item invoice. Okay, and you'll have the screen. Okay, so this is how you select the particular voucher. How you come to this particular. Okay. So these are the three modes that you work on. So item invoice mode, or this particular screen what you have here, is used to pass for a detailed transaction, to make your detailed entries. For that purpose, we use this item invoice screen. Okay. Now, does anyone have any doubts in this shifting of the screens or shifting this mode? Does anyone have any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, so purchase voucher, that is F9. Okay, next you have debit note voucher. What do you mean by debit note voucher? What is debit note?
Purchase return.
Yes, whatever you purchase, if you have to return back, that time you use the debit note voucher. So here, okay, so yeah, as I was saying, so yeah, debit note is basically used for your purchase return voucher. Okay, now what is the shortcut key for purchase return or your debit note voucher in Tally app in menu?
Control F9.
Control screen.
Yes, Control F9 was a shortcut key which was used in Tally ERP9. But here in Tally Prime, it is Alt plus F5. Alt plus F5 is used to open the debit note voucher. ALT plus F5, function key F5. Alt F5 is a shortcut key which is used in debit note voucher. Okay, so even this debit note voucher, okay, we will be using an item invoice mode itself. So what are the transactions which we are doing now? Okay, everything is done in item invoice mode itself. Okay, and not now other screens. Okay, next we have the sales voucher. When you sell any goods, that is F8. Okay, sales voucher F8. Okay, when you're doing any sales transaction, even this I'll be doing it in the item invoice mode itself. Next, you have the sales return. What is the name for the sales return voucher?
Credit note.
Credit note. Credit
Credit
note.
note. That's right. So credit note voucher, the shortcut key is Alt plus F6. Okay. Um, okay. One second. All right. Okay. Just a minute. Yeah. So Alt plus F6 is the shortcut key for credit note voucher. Alt plus F5 was debit note. Alt plus F6 is for credit note voucher. That is whenever whatever the goods which are sold and the customer is returning it back to us, that time we use it in the credit note voucher. Okay, so these are the main different types of vouchers that we will be working on in this transaction. So in this GST related transactions. Okay, that is your purchase, sale, debit note, sales, credit note, vouchers. Okay, purchase vouchers F9, debit note vouchers Alt plus F5, sales vouchers F8, credit note vouchers Alt plus F6. Any doubts in this?
No, sir.
Okay, now let's proceed with the first one. Okay, as we were discussing of the vouchers. Now we see the first type of vouchers. Okay, as you know, we do the purchase voucher itself. When you purchase, what do you say, all the stocks, you purchase any goods from any customers or anyone. At that point of time, we use the purchase voucher, who is F9. Okay, only purchase of stock item and GST calculation should be recorded in this voucher. Okay, so basically, we do three different types of vouchers in this: cash, bank, credit purchases. Okay, so why we say cash purchase, bank purchase means to credit purchase means to say that this cash and bank purchases you would have done previously when you were in the Tally ERP9 version when you're working. Okay, in that you would have worked in cash and bank purchases. That is when you were in the voucher screen, particulars debit and credit. That time you would have used this cash and purchase. Now what we will be doing is we'll be working on the credit purchase. Okay, this third type. Okay, that is let's say come to tally. Okay, so when you were in this okay purchase rank, you were in this Alt plus H double H vouchers. Okay, so credit purchase, that is you purchase goods from debit Arvind traders by cash, or debit Arvind traders by purchase by bank. So something like this, when you're purchasing any goods, you're purchasing by cash or by bank. Okay, that you did it in this voucher screen. Okay, now when we are working on this uh, item invoice screen, okay, we basically work on credit purchases. Okay, all your credit type of transactions will be used in this. Okay, so that's what is this six type of purchases that we can do is cash, bank, and credit purchases. So right now we will be working on the credit purchase transaction. Okay, now before we proceed with the purchase transaction, can anyone tell me what are the different types of bills, or what are the four types of bills that we have in Tally? There are many four different types of bills that we have in Tally. What are they? Hmm? Anyone? Any doubts? Bills, discount. Mhm. Okay. Now it's not bills discounted and thing. Okay, fine. Now have you heard of this thing called as new reference bill? something called as new reference, bill, against reference, advance bill, on account. Has anyone heard about this, or is this topic done to you?
Yes,
Okay, so yeah, explain. So what is this new reference bill then? When do we use new reference? No idea about it. Okay. Okay, just a minute. No. Okay, fine. So there are basically four different types of what do you say, the bills that we have. Okay, four different types of bills we have: a new reference bill, against reference bill, advance bill, and on account bill. Okay, so these are the four different bills that we will work in tally. Let's work in tally. We see the first type of bill, which says new reference. New reference bill is used whenever the customer or the supplier purchases or sell on credit basis. They are referred as new reference bill. Credit basis means to say, let's say I go and purchase from a person, okay, 10 numbers of books. Okay, 10 books I purchased from him. Okay, I just purchased from him, but I'm not paying any money to him. Okay, but I take the books and I come off. Okay, so that time or that point of time, what we said as, we call it as a credit purchase transaction. Credit purchase means you will purchase the goods or you will sell the goods without paying or without collecting the amount at that particular time. Okay, that time we say it as new reference bill. Whereas against reference bill is, let's say, so now I purchase the books from that person. Okay, after 10 days or after 5 days, that particular seller, okay, the shopkeeper is sending me the bill saying that rupees 100 is the amount that you have to pay, that the bill is sending it to me. So for that 100 rupees, for that books, when I'm paying this 100 rupees, I'm clearing the transaction. Clearing means to say I'm closing the transaction. So whenever the transaction is coming to an end, or when I'm paying for that particular transaction, that time we say it as against reference bill. That is whenever the new reference bill, that is whenever this credit bill is turned to receipt or to payment, then they are referred as against reference bill. Okay. Next, you have advance bill. Advance bill means to say that whenever you're paying the amount in advance, that is before itself you're paying it to the supplier. So let's say, so I'm buying these books from the customer supplier. So before I buy it from him, okay, let's say next week, next Monday, I'm going to buy it from him, but today only I'm going to pay the amount for that person. So that is said as an advance bill. So advance, you're making a payment, or advance, you're receiving the amount. That time we say it as an advance bill. Okay. Next, finally, we have the fourth type of bill called as on account. On account means to say spot payment. That is, I purchase a book today and now, and immediately I make a payment. That time we say it as on account. On account means to say on the spot you're paying or you're receiving the amounts. That is said as an on account. Okay, so these are the four different types of bills that that is used in Tally, and we'll be also be working on the transactions as well. Okay. Any doubts in these? Any doubts in these four different types of bills?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So we'll just proceed. Okay, so let's come back to. Okay, so these four bills, what we just discussed about. Okay, these four bills will be included in all these four types of vouchers that we'll be dealing with. Okay, in all the four vouchers, we'll be dealing with the four bills that we just saw. Okay, now let's take a question. Okay, now let's start with the transaction, or let's take the first question now. Okay, just a minute. All right, now okay, do I have a question here? Yeah, I have it. Fine, no problem. Take a question. Okay, now here goes the question. Okay, on 1st April 2021, okay, I am purchasing of goods from Alpha Traders Bangalore. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm purchasing the goods from this person called as Alpha Traders, who is from Bangalore. Okay, his GSTI number is GSTN number. Okay, this GST number is 29. Okay, this is just a sample number I'm just giving. Okay, this is his GSTN number. Okay, Alpha Traders Bangalore, and this is his GSTN number. Okay, next, invoice number, that is a bill number. Invoice number is, let's say I put it as Alpha 123. Okay, this is the bill number. Okay, actually the bill number. Okay, next, go down, unit 1. This is a go down that I'm storing the stocks in. Okay, so what happens here is I'm purchasing the goods on 1st April 2021. Okay, from Alpha Traders Bangalore. His GST number is so and so, and the invoice number or bill number is Alpha 123. And what are the goods I'm purchasing? I'm storing it in go down unit 1. So what are the goods that I'm purchasing? LG TV. LG TV I'm purchasing at 5 numbers at rupees. Let's take it as 15,000 each. LG TV 5 numbers at rupees 15,000 each. Okay, next. Payment made on the next day. Okay, now this is a question. Okay, so what happened here is we are purchasing the goods on 1st April 2021 from Alpha Traders Bangalore. This GST number is so and so. Invoice number is this. I go down what we are doing is unit 1. So this is the item that I'm purchasing. LG TV 5 numbers at rupees 15,000 each. Okay. Next, the payment is made on the next day, and let's say by cash. Okay. So this is the question now for a particular transaction. You can make a note of it as well. Okay. Now, okay, now we'll pass to the transaction. So once we come to this purchase voucher, first thing what we will do is we will change the date. So the date is 1/4/2021. The first thing I change the date. Next, supplier invoice number. So the invoice number I have mentioned over here, that is alpha 123. Okay, invoice number is alpha 123. 123 I have entered here. Okay, so first what I did was I entered the date F2. Next, I'm putting the supplier invoice number, that is basically the invoice number what he had put in the question. Okay, that I put over here, alpha 123, just a name here. Next, when I press enter, the same date, what are the date you had entered there, the same date it will be displayed here. There's no need to do any changes. I just press the enter key. Next, party account name. Party, okay, party account name. Party account name needs to say that from whom are we purchasing it from.
Alpha
So
Traders.
yes, so we are purchasing it from Alpha Traders, Bangalore. Okay, so I don't have this particular person, Alpha Traders ledger. I don't have it here. You see on the right hand side, I have only cash, HDFC, and ICICI Bank, but I don't have Alpha Traders. So I have to create a ledger. So
Alt
last class,
Alt C.
all C, yes, all C is a shortcut key. First one. What are the other two methods? First one was by pressing
Right
Alt
hand
C.
side. Right hand side. Create.
Okay, right hand side create. Yes, fantastic. And the third type, third
Go
method,
to. Go to.
fantastic.
Get arrow create ledger.
Yes, go to, click on Alt G, go to create master and go to ledger and create it. Fantastic. Okay, so here we have to create the ledger for this particular person. Okay, from whom we are purchasing the stocks
Alpha
from.
Traders.
Okay, so Alpha Traders. So I just put it in short, Alpha Traders. Now he will come under which group? Which is a group that I have to select for this person?
Purchase
Duty.
Sorry, purchase. No, it can't be purchase.
So duties and tax.
Duties and tax. He is not related to tax. Duties and tax. No, it is Alpha Trade is not a tax, so it can't be duties and taxes. What else? Think. We are purchasing. We are purchasing from this person. So whom
Sundry
is he?
debtors.
Small correction. It is sundry creditors. Sundry creditors. CR. Sundry creditors. Sundry creditors are basically the suppliers, the person who supply the goods to us. Okay, they are basically sundry creditors. So, and sundry debtors are the person who purchase goods from others. Okay, so now in simple words, we have to explain. Sundry creditors are the normal shopkeepers, shop guys who sell the goods. They are called as sundry creditors. Who sell the product, they are sundry creditors. Sundry debtors are the buyers, basically the customers. All right. So here we are purchasing from him. So in this case, we are sundry debtors and Alpha Traders are sundry creditors. Okay. So I select here. We select here as sundry creditors. Next. Next, below that sundry creditors, you can see the one option, the maintain balance bill by bill, as yes. Okay. This particular option is used. Okay. We just a few minutes back before we just discussed about the 4 different types of bills: the new reference bill, against reference, on account, and advance bill. Okay, in order to use those bills, this particular option has to be activated. Maintain balances bill by bill. Okay, once again I repeat, in order to activate or in order to use these options or these bills, new reference, against reference, advance, and on account, at that particular time we have to use this maintain balances bill by bill option. Okay, so that is why we make this option as yes. Okay, next, I don't do anything with this. Take out the data and things. Alpha Traders. If I have the address of this person, I can enter the address. For now, I'm not entering. I'm just skipping it. State is from Karnataka. That is, if you see the question, this particular person is from Bangalore itself. Okay, so I select here as Karnataka. In pin code also you can enter, there's no problem with that. So I'm skipping. PAN number, it's not mentioned, not required. Registration type, regular, composite, consumer, unregistered. So basically we select as a regular dealer. GSTIN UI. So I have to enter the GST number for this particular person. Okay. So as we had discussed previously, if I'm including GST tax, okay, the supplier has to have the GST with it, GSTIN UI to it, so that he can charge the GST tax for us. Okay. So the GST number I have entered over here. GST number for this particular person. Okay, that is 29, 5 times enter A, that is 29 the state code. Why 29? Because the state code is from Karnataka. Okay, that is Bangalore, Bangalore is in Karnataka. So state code is started with 29 and his PAN number and the default numbers and the characters. Okay, this I have to enter it over here. Okay, so 29, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is a dummy number. Okay, so that's I enter. So after I enter this number, see it shows here verify the party GST number on the right hand side. Since it's a dummy number. Okay, so these are the things that you have to enter. Okay, again I repeat, first is alpha traders, the name of the person who's supplying the goods. Second, the group under that he's coming under, that is sundry creditors. Okay, next, maintain balance bill payable. Yes, this is activated in order to use the 4 different types of bills: new reference, against reference, on account, and advance bill. Okay, next is you can enter the address of this person, state Karnataka, country India. So since it's from the same state, I may say from Karnataka, this GST number is starting at 29, followed with the PAN number and this other characters. Okay, any doubts in this? Yes, so fine. Okay, fine. I guess you have no doubts. So, okay, let's proceed. So I save this. Okay. So once I save, so once this party account name or party details are created, now here on this purchase screen, what I have to do is I have to press the enter key. When I press the enter key, you get 2 screens actually. First screen is this receipt details. Okay, these things are not required. This is not required to be entered. Okay, for now. Okay, as you can see here, it shows your receipt document number, dispatch through how it is dispatched, what is the destination, courier name. Okay, bill of landing, motor vehicle number, all these details. Okay, will be present in this receipt details thing. Okay, for this, what I'll do is what I'll do is I have just press the Control A. That is, I just save it. After I save it, again I get the next screen here. Okay, on this next screen you can see here whatever the party name I have entered and the party's details I have entered, the same thing will be present here. Supplier, that is Alpha Traders, mailing name, that is same, Supply Traders. Since I have not entered the address, it is blank, the state Karnataka, India, and the GST number which I had entered. Okay, all the details what I had entered there, the same in the ledger, the same thing you will get it over here. Okay, again I just press enter. Fine. Okay, so again I'll just show you. So once you create the party account name, that is Alpha Traders, enter, you get 2 screens. Just save it and save it. There's nothing to be entered over there. Fine, everyone. Okay, now next thing, purchase ledger. Here what we do is we can, here again we have to create 2 types of ledgers for 2 situations. One, here we are doing, what we are doing here is we are doing a purchase of transaction. Okay, so basically we are purchasing goods here. Okay, either you can purchase goods or you can purchase services. Okay, so like that we can create a ledger over here. So again, I'll create a ledger, that is purchase of goods. Since I'm purchasing goods, I'm putting as purchase of goods. Or if you're purchasing any kind of services, we can put here as purchase of services. Okay, so this is the ledger name. So purchase of goods. Now, can you tell me under which group will I put them? Put this under purchase of goods as. You can click on the right hand side of the screen, and you can tell me which group is purchase account or purchase of goods entered. Anyone? Come on, think. See, you can see the screen.
Expense.
No, it can't be expensive. Even if you say expense, what kind of expense? It can be anything, right?
Purchase account.
Yes, purchase account. Okay, you can put it under purchase account itself. Okay, that's it. There's no other thing to be entered over here. Just give the name as purchase of goods. Under, you can put it under purchase account itself. There's nothing else to be done. Okay, and you just directly save it. Fine, everyone. Okay, so I create here as purchase of goods. Since I'm purchasing goods, I put here as purchase of goods. If you're purchasing any services, you can put as purchase of services. Anything, any ledger can be created over here. Or you can just put as purchase account or purchase itself. Anything is fine as per your preferences. Okay, so here I'm just putting according to my understanding, I'm just putting as purchase of goods here itself. Okay, now next when I press enter, I have to get a screen. Okay, actually most of the time you get a screen or you get a box over here. Right now I'm not getting any box. So what I will do is I'll have to come to the activation of GST. Okay, that is previously when we were activating the GST, that is F11 and thing. Okay, there when we activate, okay, there's something which we have to do. Okay, that is F11, enable goods and service tax. Yes. Okay, so I told you when we are doing the transaction, that time we'll be coming to the screen. Okay, that is this additional features. Okay, now yeah, since I wanted one particular box, that time what I do is I have to activate this thing. Enable GST classification. Okay, this option I make it as yes. Okay, why I make it this option yes? Okay, you can observe. So once I make it as yes, I save it. Okay, now when I press the enter key, still I'm not able to get that particular box. Okay, so after I do the purchase account, I have to get a particular box. I'm still not getting. Okay, so first step I have done. Going to F11. Okay, and activating this particular option. I go to GST, enable GST classification. This option I'm just activating it. Okay, and I'm saving it, and then again I'm saving it. Okay, now still if you're not getting this a box, okay, after purchase of goods, what you do is you have to press F12. Okay, you press F12. Okay, and you come to this on the right hand side, GST details. Okay, so here in GST details you have it. Modified tax rate details of GST, that is you can change the tax rate of GST manually. Okay, okay, and like this export e-waiver details, all these things will be present again. Just if you say this modified thing as yes, now if you press enter, see you get the box. Okay, so in order to get this box, there are two ways. Okay, first you check in F11, enable GST goods and service tax, go to this option, enable GST classification option, okay, and make that as yes. This is the first step, and you save it, save it. Now the next step is that even after this purchase of goods you're not getting that option, press F12, that is a configuration screen. Okay, if you see on the top it says configuration, go to the configuration screen. Okay, If you want, you can make show all configuration as yes. Okay. Now, if you come to this heading called as GST details, okay, there you go to this heading called as modified tax rate details of GST. That option has to you make it as yes. Okay. Once you make it as yes, this option you have to save. Right? Okay, save it and then you get it. So purchase of. Now when I press enter after the purchase of goods thing, I get this box called as tax classification detail. Okay. Now here when I get this box, okay, if you have to get the list, okay, let's say you have already created some names, or if you have already created something already in Tally, okay, if you want to get all those list of names of that, okay, that time what we do is we press the space bar key anywhere in Tally. Anywhere in Tally, if you press the space bar key under the tab, okay, you get the list of names which are entered over there, okay, entered for that. So when I get here space bar, you get a list of classification or list of natures for this. Okay. Now can you tell me what type of a transaction is this? Okay, if you see the question and tell me what type of a transaction is this? Is it an intrastate transaction or interstate transaction?
Intrastate.
Intrastate
Intra
transaction.
intrastate. That's
Intrastate.
right. Yes. So if it's intrastate transaction, what are the taxes used for this?
Two taxes.
CGST and SGST.
Cgst and SGST. That's right. So whenever we are dealing with Cgst and SGST, okay, if you see on the right hand side, you don't need to get confused with all these things. Okay. Okay. When you're dealing with Cgst and SGST, there's only one option that you have to select. The last one called as purchase taxable. Okay. When you're dealing with Cgst and SGST, you have to select this option called as purchase taxable option. When you're using IGST, integrated goods and services, that is for interstate. Okay, that is when you are purchasing and selling in two different states, that is IGST. We have to select interstate purchase tax. Okay, these are the two things that you have to select. Okay, the first one, when you're doing the purchase taxable is used whenever you're doing the CGST and SGST. When you're including CGST and SGST for intrastate transaction, that time we use purchase taxable for CGST and SGST. When you're using IGST, interstate purchase taxable, that is IGST is used when you're purchasing and selling with between two different states. That time we say interstate purchase taxable. Okay, so this transaction, as you said, it is intrastate CGST and SGST, so I have to select purchase taxable. Okay, any doubts in this? Purchase taxable and interstate purchase taxable. Any doubts? Okay, we'll proceed. So what I do is I select purchase taxable. I come to this transaction. Okay. Now, as you can see here, the heading, name of the item. Okay. So what is the item that we are purchasing? We are purchasing LG TV. LG TV is the item that we are going to purchase. So when I come to name of the item here, okay, again I press the space bar to get the list. So I have here. You can see all the items that we had purchased, that we had created, right? Acer Laptops, Camlin Notebook, Classmate Books, LG TV. All those things will be present over. Okay, so we are purchasing LG TV. So what I do is I select LG TV. Immediately after I select the item, that is the LG TV, it will ask me the go down, that is where it has to be stored. So in the question, the go down I have mentioned here as unit 1. Unit 1 is the go down that I am storing it in. Okay, fine. Go down is the unit 1. So space bar. So again, when I press space bar, see I get the list again. So I select unit 1. Next, quantity. So LGTV I selected. Quantity is 5 numbers. I put 5. Just enter as 5. Don't need to put NOS. It will automatically take it as NOS itself. Okay. Next, the rate of it. So rate for one LG TV is 15,000 rupees. 15,000. So 15,000 into 5, 75,000. Understood, everyone? Okay. So what I did was, first I selected the item, that is LG TV. After I select the item and press the enter key, it will ask me to select the go down. So in the question, I had the go down as unit 1. So I enter here. Next, how many quantities I'm purchasing? 5 numbers at the rate 15,015. So it will automatically calculate 15,000 into 5 as 75,000. Okay. Now, what I do is enter and enter. Any doubts still here? Anyone? Any doubts? Okay. Now, one question for you. Now you see here. Okay, so let's come back here. Okay, so we are only purchasing one item. Okay, one stock item, that is LG TV itself. That's it. Okay, so now once we have purchased, okay, it says 75,000. Okay, so here we have two total amounts here. One, I have the amount over here on the top as 75,000, and at the bottom also I have 75,000. Okay, now can you tell me, when do we charge the GST? When is GST charged? Hmm? When do we charge the GST tax for this?
When we make any purchase or sales transaction.
Okay, fine. No. Yeah, fine. That is right. But what is my question now was, let's say, do we add the taxes? Okay, that is before this total, or is it after the total of the products? That's what I mean. Okay, let's say if I have list of products, LG TV, Micromax TV, something like that, list of products I have, and here also there is one total, and here's one total. So basically, is the tax calculated after each product? Or is it calculated at the total of the products? That is what I meant to ask the question.
After each
Total of the
product.
product, sir.
Yes, total. So
Total of
now,
all the products.
yes, total of all the products. So now we have just only purchased one product, one item. So what I'll do is I'll just press the enter key once. Okay. So you can see when I press the enter key once, the total amount is coming down. Okay. This is the total amount. So now what I have to do is, on this total amount, I have to calculate the GST. Okay, again I repeat, this is my 75,000, my actual amount, which had happened. When I press the enter key, it gives the total amount at the bottom. Okay, like this. Okay, now as you said, yes, that is right. On the total amount, after the total amount, we calculate the GST. So what I have to do is, again I have to press the enter key. Okay, so 2 times the enter key has to be entered. Okay, enter, enter. Got it? Okay, so first enter, what will happen means to say it will show the total amount. Second enter, what will happen is it will come below this total amount, the final total amount. So that is why after we enter the final product and the final amounts, 2 times you have to press the enter key in order to add the GST. So press enter. Now if you see on the right hand side, you can see that instead of having LG TV, the classmate notebook, Camry notebooks, Okay, as the items you have the ledger names here. You don't have the item names. Okay, so as you said before, we add the CGST and SGST over here. So now observe. So I select CGST and I press the enter key. See, automatically the tax is calculated. Okay, next is spacebar SGST. See, and automatically the tax has been brought into the company. It has been added to the bill. Fine. Any doubts in this? Okay. The CGST and SGST, before we did the explanation of purchase and all the vouchers, we created the ledgers, right? CGST, SGST, and IGST. Those ledgers I have used here. Okay, so if these ledgers are correct, okay, just as with the CGST, SGST, SGST duties and tax, GST state tax, okay, once if these are correct, only then all these things will be applied. Say automatically the tax will be calculated. And also, okay, this LGTV, what we created yesterday, today, okay, and we added the tax rates for this, right? Okay, everything has to be entered perfectly. Only after all these things are entered well and good, the fine, okay, only then your taxes will be calculated automatically. There's no need for you to do any manual calculation. Just you have to select the ledger, automatically the tax will be calculated and added. Okay, so now what I do is I press the enter key. Enter, enter, that's it. Fine. Any doubts in this? Okay, now let's proceed. Now, okay. Now if you see the total amount is coming up to 88,500. Okay, when we were activating GST, okay, previously in the last class and thing, okay, that time, okay, we saw something about e-waybill. Okay, you can see here, provide GST e-waybill details. Okay, we saw something about e-waybill. That is again, let's say let me go there. E-waybill GST, yes. Okay, on your right hand side, yes, we have see e-waybill applicable. Yes, we made it, and threshold limit is 50,000. Okay, so if the total bill value is greater than 50,000, okay, that time my e-waybill will be generated. That is here, if you see on the left hand side, this e-waybill will be generated. Okay, why it is generated? Because my total bill value is 88,500. It is above 50,000. Now let's take, for example, let's say for now I'll reduce this. See, I made it into two numbers and the amount is 30,000, and I save it, and including GST and all, it is coming 2,700. So now if you see the total amount on the right hand side is 35,400. So it is less than 50,000. Now if we see on the left hand side, there is no option of e-waybill. Understanding? Okay, so the e-waybill, the invoice value should be 50,000 or greater than 50,000. Okay, only if this is equal to or greater than 50,000, only then the e-waybill will be shown. Right now it is less than 50,000, that is it is showing 35,400, so there's no e-waybill there. Okay, so let's just change this back again. Okay, now I changed it. Now you see it is showing as 88,000 at the bottom right side, and on the left hand side you can say provide GST or e-waybill details. Yes. Okay, so when I make this as yes, okay, you can see what all details it has. There's no need for us to enter all the details. Okay, as you can see here, it shows these details here: e-waybill details, supply invoice number, e-waybill number, okay, and this subtype or the supplier, what type of this thing it is, okay, the consignor details from where it has come, okay, bill from where I am getting the product. Okay, consign is nothing but the person who's selling the product, Alpha Traders. Okay, his details is there, and the transporter details. That is how these goods are getting transported to my company or to my place. A rail, road, ship, transporter's name, who is transporting it, distance of transportation, ID, vehicle type. All these details will be present in this e-waybill here. Okay. For now, we don't need to enter anything. We just save the screen here. There's no need for us to enter. Okay. So these are the details that e-waybill contains. Okay. Now I save this. Understood, right? About this e-waybill, how we activated in GST activation of GST, and how we are back here and how it is displayed. Okay. Now, okay. Now, okay. Let's come back here. Yes. Now, can anyone tell me, is this a credit transaction or a cash transaction or a bank transaction?
Cash transaction.
How do you know it is cash transaction? Where is it mentioned as cash?
It's goods purchased by cash.
Yeah, fine. In the question, I have it as the goods are purchased by cash. That is payment made on the next day by cash. Okay, but see the question properly. The transaction is done on the 1st April 2021. Okay, but the payment is made on the next day by cash. Okay, the payment is made on the next day by cash, not on the same day. So what type of a transaction is this? This transaction is done on 1st April.
Credit transaction.
Credit transaction.
Fantastic.
Transaction.
So since it is a credit transaction, what type of bill do we use? If it is a credit transaction, what bill will be used?
New reference.
Yes, that's right, new reference bill. So if you see here, this highlighted orange color, which is on the right hand side, when you press the enter key, you get the 4 different types of bills. Got it? Okay. Again, I tell you, once you're done with the e-waybill thing, the cursor, this orange color cursor, this highlighter will come to the total one. From there, if you press the enter key, it will show you the 4 different types of bills. So here you have to select the bill. So here we are selecting as new reference bill because we are doing a credit transaction and not a cash or bank transaction for 1st April 21. This transaction is for 1st April 21 and not for 2nd April. So it is a credit transaction. So what we do is we select as new reference bill. Okay, and it will automatically show you the bill number alpha 123. That is what is here, what we put the invoice number. Okay, due date is nothing but, now let's say for example we have purchased from him, we have not paid any amount for him, and he says within 10 days or within 5 days or within 30 days you have to make a payment. That due date you enter it here. Okay, so let's say he's giving us 10 days time. 10 days means to say on 1st April I'm purchasing the goods, but I'm not paying the amount. Okay, so he's giving me 10 days time to pay the amount. So if I'm purchasing on 1st April, by 11th April, I have to pay this person. That is what it is. Okay, due date or credit days means to say the number of days time period or the time period that he's giving for us to make a payment for the transaction. So just an example I've given here as 10 days. It can be 10 days, 30 days, depending upon the supplier. Okay, so if I give 10 days here, below itself it will show me by what date I have to make a payment. So it says by 11th April 21 I have to make a payment of rupees 88,500. Okay, now enter narration being goods.
Goods purchased by cash.
Sorry, again you're wrong. It's not by cash. We're not purchasing it by cash. Being goods purchased on credit. Okay, it can't be by cash. We're not paying. If you're saying cash, where's cash over here? Where's cash in this particular transaction? There's no cash here. Okay, so it just means to say being goods purchased on credit. Okay, understood? Okay, this is only the first part of the transaction. Okay, this is how you pass this particular entry here. Okay, so all these things we have done. Okay, the first part, the ones which I have highlighted, are all completed. We have purchased the goods on 1st April 21 from Alpha Traders Bangalore. This is his GST number, invoice number, the go down in which we store, and this is the item. Okay, so all these blue color one which I highlighted, we are doing it in the purchase voucher transaction, and basically this is a credit transaction. Okay, so since it's a credit transaction, we select as new reference bill. This is the first part of it. Now coming to the second part, payment made on the next day by cash. Okay, now can you tell me how we do this? This transaction is complete now. Okay, now before I go on to the next one, do you have any doubts in this purchase transaction? Any doubts in this what we did till now? Okay, fine. Now let's proceed. Okay, so I will save this. Now this is completed. Okay, now I have to next yeah, the next question says that made payment on the next day by cash. So which voucher or where will you enter this transaction in? Payment made on the next day by cash, the one which I've highlighted in green color, the second part of the question. Where would you enter this transaction in? Anyone?
Payment voucher.
Fantastic. So we enter it in payment voucher. So F5. So we are paying this payment is made on the next day. So that means to say we are making the payment on 2nd April 21. Okay. Okay, someone has asked a question here. So in question only they gave made payment by cash, but you said it is on credit basis. How? Yes, again I say, if you see this question here, okay, we are purchasing on 1st April. Okay, see the dates. You can see, observe the dates first. Okay, we are purchasing on 1st April. Okay, and the payment is made on the next day. The next day the payment is made. So that is why this particular transaction is called as a credit transaction. 1st April, what we are doing is a credit transaction. We are not paying on that day, right? Okay, if you see the bills, okay, types of bills when we discussed, new reference bill is what? When you're purchasing, but you're not paying it on the same day, or which you're not paying it on the particular time. You're paying it on the later time. That is said as new reference bill. So this particular transaction is said as new reference bill or a credit transaction. That is for 1st April 21. Okay, but on the next day when you're making a payment, that is you're paying for this transaction, that particular time it is said as we are paying by cash. Okay, that is how it is. That is how the question is. Okay, don't get confused. Just observe the dates. Depending upon the dates and the transaction, the bills will be used. Okay. Oh, fine, good. Let's proceed now. So we come to the payment voucher and we change the date to 2nd April 21. Now payment voucher. Now tell me, anyone of you tell me what will be the entry, what will come on the debit side, what will come on the credit.
Purchase account data.
Purchase account. Okay, if I put here as purchase account, okay, let's say purchase of food something. Okay, it does not show me anything. Okay, it can't be as purchase account. Now let me explain one thing. Now, to whom are we supposed to pay this amount to? We have done the purchases in the purchase voucher, that is completed. So we can't put as purchase of goods or purchase account here. Okay. So the second thing what we have to do is we have to make a payment. So to whom we are making a payment for?
Alpha Traders.
Fantastic. So
Alpha Traders.
yes, so in payment also on the debit side, you select as Alpha Traders. So when you select Alpha Traders, you can see here the amount as 88,500, the current balance. Can you see? Okay. So how we got this 88,500 is, let's say I come back to the purchase voucher. Okay, the purchase voucher, what we did. Okay, that is I go to the day book. Okay, okay, purchase voucher. So in purchase voucher, you can see the total amount as 88,500. So this 88,500 is the amount that I have to pay to Alpha Traders. Okay, so that is the current balance that it is showing over there in the payment voucher when I selected the same. Okay, so fine. Okay, so Alpha Traders, and you see same 88,500. That is the amount that I have to pay to him. Got it? So here in payment voucher, you don't need to put as purchase or goods or purchase account. Okay, because already we have done the purchase account in the purchase voucher. So purchases we have already completed. Now what we are doing is we are doing the payments. Okay, so this payments is done to whom? Alpha Traders. So I select Alpha Traders and I see the balance amount, that how much I have to pay. Let me say the amount which has to be paid to him, that is 88,500. So I type here 88,500. Got it? Okay, now I press the enter key and you tell me what is the bill that I have to select here.
Against reference.
That's right, against reference bill. Why against reference means to say is that we are clearing the bill here. The new reference, the credit transaction, what I did, I'm clearing the transaction now. Since I'm clearing it, I select it as against reference bill. So when I select against reference, okay, it will automatically show me the bill here. See, Alpha 123, 1st April, 88,500. Got it? You just have to select it. Enter, 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 enter. And credit, you're paying by cash, so you select as cash. That's it. So being payment made for the credit purchases. Fine. This ends your transaction. Any doubts in this? Any doubts? Anyone? Any doubts? Okay, fine. So I save this transaction. Okay, so now we have purchased these stocks. So now what we'll do is we'll go check the stock summary, that is from Gateway of Tally. Okay, so Alt F1 to show it in detail, or Alt F5, and you press F5. See, now I have LG TV now. See, LG TV which you purchased 5 numbers, 50,000, it's in unit 1. Okay, so whatever you purchase, okay, if you want to see how much you have purchased and how much is left in the godown or in the company, so this is a place where you come and check. Okay, so this is how you pass this normal purchase transaction. Any doubts in this? Any doubts in this today's session what we did?
No, sir.
No doubts? Okay. Fine. All right. So we'll continue with the different types of questions in this purchase voucher in the next session. All right. Okay. So thank you and have a great day.